Now, moving into our second story of the day, folks, if you haven't already, hit that like and subscribe button. It really does help support the channel. We have a white middle school teacher in Texas is now out of a job after he admitted to a racially diverse group of students that he harbored ethnocentric prejudices against those of other races. You guys, I'm a teacher. This is so cringy and just completely just so baffling and wrong, it's head spinning. Now, this video is blurred because there's minors in it, but there's captions here. Let's go ahead and just kind of hear this conversation and in terms of what got this guy fired.
I just think that's wild.
I'm not going to say no. Deep down in my heart, I'm ethnocentric, which means I think my race is the superior one.
I'll pause it there. You guys, that is so crazy. There's so much wrong with that. It's just head spinning. And this guy's just out here going, oh, I'm ethnocentric. Like, what's wrong? What? One, why would you be having this conversation with students anyways? Two, what the hell are you doing? Why? I mean, somebody has to sit there and tell this guy that he's crazy and he's wrong. And three, again, why are you having this conversation with students? It's baffling, folks. It's baffling.
No, let me
White is better than all.
No, let me finish.
Go ahead.
I think everybody thinks that. They're just not honest about it.
Hey, I'm not racist, though. I like all types of content.
Did I say I don't like people?
People only think
Wait,
that.
so you said you are what? You are racist? You saying you're like...
I think everybody's a racist at that level.
No, but you said you are racist.
I did. Yeah, I'm trying to be honest. No, I'm not saying it again. I said it enough.
So you're
I
racist.
think I'm like telling you something.
Put your phone up.
I respect you for a while, but like
I'm putting
now,
your phone out.
I don't even got no more respect for you.
Put it up.
Yeah, for real. I don't think I got respect for him no more, bro.
You know, you should have more respect because I'm honest.
No, not at all.
What? So, where to start with this? One, I don't know why you're having that conversation with students in the first place. It's good to build relationships with students, but you going out talking to how you're ethnocentric and everybody's racist in reality and all this stuff is just so mind-blowing and head-spinning. You should be fired, man. Makes you wonder how the guy got hired in the first place. He's probably been around for a while. Well, sometime last week, the unnamed teacher at Bohls Middle School in Texas held a class discussion during which he apparently admitted to personally harboring some white supremacist notions. I would say so. And argued that everyone else harbored similar ethnocentric notions about their own race as well, even if they don't say it out loud. What? No, man. Racism is bad. White supremacy is evil. It's disgusting. What are you talking about? Quote, deep down in my heart, I'm ethnocentric, the man explained to the students, which means I think my race is the superior one. I think everybody thinks that, he later added. They're just not honest about it. This guy's just, knucklehead is just an understatement, but I want to be careful with how I put words out there because I've been told, folks, if you cuss on YouTube or you kind of say things weird, it hurts your viewership, and we're growing here at the Bald Brad Show. So we don't want to hurt that viewership. I'm just completely baffled here because I want to know what prompted the discussion in the first place, and that still remains unclear. But in some ways, the sentiments expressed by the teacher resemble those advocated by Robin DiAngelo. In white fragility, folks, let's just throw a few quotes here at you. Stopping our racist patterns must be more important than working to convince ourselves and others that we don't have them. We don't have them, and people of color already know we have them. Our efforts to prove otherwise are not convincing. Very reminiscent of what that man said, folks, just putting it in different verbiage. Quote, if I believe that only bad people are racist, I will feel hurt, offended, and shamed when an unaware racist assumption of mine is pointed out. If I instead believe that having racist assumptions is inevitable, but possible to change, I will feel gratitude when an unaware racist assumption is pointed out. Quote, racism is the norm rather than aberration. Feedback is key to our ability to recognize and repair our inevitable and often unaware collusion. So even if you're not racist and you're actually anti-racist, you're just unaware that you're actually racist, and it's inevitable that you are in fact racist. That's how these progressive left think. And they take it a step further here with black activist Ibram X. Kendi, who wrote, like fighting an addiction, being an anti-racist requires persistent self-awareness, constant self-criticism, and regular self-examination. Because deep down inside, whether you believe so or not, you are in fact a racist. And so through that self-awareness or self-criticism as well as self-examination, deep down inside, what you could do is suppress that racism from coming out because it's inevitable. It's the regular, it's the norm, as we saw from D'Angelo, of you being racist. That's how it all works. It's amazing. Even though you're anti-racist, you're racist. Even though you're racist, you're still racist, which that one makes sense. But you being anti-racist, not racist, doesn't make sense of you being racist. But according to the left, somehow that makes sense. It's not clear whether the middle school teacher in question was simply self-aware, that he holds racist assumptions, which D'Angelo describes as inevitable, or whether he was proudly espousing white supremacy. Either way, many students and their parents did not take kindly to his statements. Yeah, you think? Students heard in the video admitted that they have since lost respect for the teacher, and parents have said much of the same. Quote, there are other personal experiences we've had as people of color that we had individually, but to see this in the classroom setting is just unacceptable. I completely agree with this parent. And I find that interesting because students said they had respect for him previously. And as an educator, it takes time to build respect with your students. It takes a lot of you having that one-on-one time or those sidebar conversations. And clearly this guy probably has held these views his entire life. And so I find it interesting, one, that he would go into the profession of teaching knowing that you're going to teach people of color if you are a racist. And two, I'm curious into what type of teacher he was because he might have been actually a really good teacher if students had respect for him. Students usually don't have respect for bad teachers. For good teachers, they can identify which teacher is good and isn't, and those are the teachers they hold on to. And it seems like they're having a sit down with this guy and willing to engage with him. Seems like they're all being polite to one another, but the guy just doesn't seem like he's actually aware that he's saying crazy things to these students. I'm also curious into what type of biases have seeped into his grading as well and seeing if that had any effect on anything. In a nutshell, it's just all crazy, folks, is what it is. A record producer known as Southside, whose son was supposedly in the teacher's classes, shared the video on Instagram with a message that read in part, "This man told my child his race is superior. I don't understand how we're still in a world where I know I am probably more intelligent and have accomplished way more in life than this guy. I'm so angry, I'm at a loss for words," Southside added. "But I will still stand up for my child and the other Black and Spanish kings and queens in this video." Now, people are complaining about the video because there could be backlash against the students. And we obviously showed the blurred version of it because there's minors and they don't have consent to all this stuff. But there's the video out there that obviously isn't blurred that his child recorded. So there could be some backlash. I mean, there's going to be backlash against that guy, which rightfully so, but there's also going to be backlash against the students as well, which I don't think should be the case, but there's psychos out there, folks. But let me know what you think about all this in the comments below. Again, I think as an educator, he should have been fired. I think it's a crazy viewpoint for somebody to still espouse in 2022, but they're out there. I don't think racism is a systemic problem in America. I don't think it is a major problem in America whatsoever. I don't like racism. I think it's evil. I don't like white supremacy. I think it's evil. I can only be so clear about that. I can't believe I even have to say it. It's obvious. But it's just amazing to me that there's actually people that think the amount of melanin in your skin has anything to do with anything. It's still baffling to me. It's still baffling to me. Racism is evil. White supremacy is evil. It's all evil. The guy should have been ousted, but let me know what you think about all this in the comment section below. I do read them, folks, so I am curious as to what you have to say. I hope you enjoyed that clip from the Bald Brad Show. If you did, make sure to hit that subscribe button so you can stay up to date on all our future content.